Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into anything in the video today, I just want to say I appreciate all the support, guys. Happy holidays as well. I know we're kind of getting into that season. It's always that vibe, and we're kind of closing into the end of the year. This has been the fastest year of my life. I think that's what happens when you get older. The time just, it's been crazy. So it's almost 2025 as well. Just clocking in because I have made my decision for what I'm going to do for swaps. So I want to talk about it with you guys. I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to talk about it. Now, I run 2 accounts on FC. We're going to kind of talk through some nice scenarios that you guys can cook up. If you guys have been living under a rock, EA dropped Mode Mastery swaps, and you get tokens essentially for playing squad battles, foot champs, and division rivals, right? So you get tokens every week. Depending on how you finish, you can get a certain amount of tokens. Foot champs has a max of 3, division rivals has a max of 2, and squad battles has a max of 2 as well, I believe. So we're going to go through. I'm going to talk through with what I think I'm going to end up going with, because yesterday, if you didn't watch my main channel video, we started to have a little bit of information about what you can kind of get from some of these packs. I had a couple of viewers that went for the 8520, and I've been really like back and forth because I haven't really known what I wanted to do. You know, when we had the new season, we went through, we reviewed it, we talked about it, but I still didn't really know what I was going to go for. There was a couple of unknowns, and now we have a lot of clarity. So if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a thumbs up. It helps a lot. And let me know in the comments, man. I want to see some combos. What are you guys going for? What are you thinking about? For me, as is, too, just to mention this, swaps is genuinely the only reason outside of money I'm playing this game. Genuinely, this is the best thing that has happened probably to this year's game. I hope that EA continue to do it because it's the only motivation I get to play. It's been great that you can kind of work for something. I mean, that's for me at this point what this game needs. And look, we looked at Thunderstruck promo. It was such a good promo because the menu content was great. This is helpful to just at least carry over playing a little bit until the next large promo, which is going to be Winter Wildcards, which is probably in 2 weeks. So, again, a lot of good options. I mean, one thing I think EA have done really well is that the lower tier options I feel like are phenomenal. I think that you can get some guaranteed fodder, and you can do it a couple times, which is nice. So yesterday we had, we went through on YouTube, and just so you know, this was one of the options, the 8520 for 6 tokens that I was really looking at. If you didn't see the video, we had a couple of viewers that went ahead and actually took this pack, which was kind of crazy because I didn't know people were already going to have it. But when we looked at it overall, the pack honestly was mainly fodder. You know, if you look at this right here, it was Kane, Jude Bellingham, and we had a couple of these, and no one got anything crazy. You know, at the best, somebody got like 186 promo card, which is Jorginho, and like a 90. So the 8520 for 6 tokens, I'm going to be honest, now that I've seen it, and this is what I thought it was going to be, it's purely fodder. This pack is purely fodder, and it's 6 tokens, right? Like, that's like a full week if you get 2 tokens from each mode, which is a huge grind of rivals, champs, and squad battles. So, obviously, there's a reason for these 2, and I'm going to talk about them. I think the decision I'm going to go for, and I'm on the PS account right now. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do on this account. I don't have tokens yet because I haven't really done much of a grind, because I'm going to do a smaller grind on this account just in a week or 2, but the PC account. So there's a total of 28 tokens available, and there's going to be 31 with 3 more apparently in the store. So that's what we've been told. It's going to be 28 max, but obviously the max is that you're going to have to get rank 1, rank 2, and champs every week, which is like not for the average person, going to be happening. So to be honest, you probably will, if you grind this game, if you're decent enough, you'll probably end up getting somewhere between 20 and 25 tokens. That's what I would assume. For my PC account, I've got every possible token so far. This week, I'm not going to do the full squad battles. Probably not going to get the max champs reward as well. So I'm going to fall a little bit there. But I assume on the PC account, I will probably get 25 tokens. So I've kind of made up my mind of what I want to do, and I'm going to explain it to you. So first of all, the 88 base icon 1 of 4. This will probably be, in my opinion, the most selected reward that everybody goes for. It's 16 tokens. You get a guaranteed 1 of 4 88 minimum icon. I was thinking about this originally, and I've kind of now gone against it, and I'm going to explain to you guys why. Now, obviously, this will be a huge deal when we can see these. I know that maybe our minds will change depending on the pack weight, but I'm going to kind of talk through why I don't really want to do this anymore, and why I'm thinking about doing something else. And so if we look at it just objectively, we go ahead. I mean, it's going to include some promo icons too. This is only going to have base icons. There, for me, even with the 88 plus, is just too many bad icons still. I know that we'll probably end up seeing some W's, but my issue here is that even if you were to get a W, right? Let's say you open a 1 of 4 88 plus, you get 2 bad ones, which, if we went through and looked at, who that would be, your lower end cards are going to be, let's say you get like Skulls, right? Owen, Riquelme, Sheva. I mean, you got so many bad players still in this. You do have some really good players, Rio, Ribery, stuff like that. Let's say I go ahead and get like a Ribery or a Stoichkov. Even in a, we'll probably not be able to get this for like 2 or 3 more weeks. Team of the year is going to be very soon after this. Winter Wildcard is going to be very soon after this. And this is going to be the start of the year, the time of the year, where if we think objectively, EA are going to probably start with Team of the Year doing double playstyle pluses, right? So that for me is going to be one of those where, again, even the top tiers on these only are going to have that one playstyle plus. And statistically, in weak foot skills, I think people are going to start to fall behind. So I'm just not as interested in this anymore. I think on the PC account, I'm going to end up going with Rodrygo. If he sucks, he sucks. But I had his gold card this year. And I just think that he looks so much better guaranteed than all the other options for somebody that wants to do the full grind. So on the PC account, I need a wide player upgrade because Adama is still in my team, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to use him in a couple weeks' time. I used the gold card this year. I thought he was a demon, and this card literally has like +7 to +10s on almost every stat. You get the 5-star skills as well. Tech Plus is really nice for left stick dribbling. And I look at it like this. At some point, in the spring, I might be able to evo this card, right, and give him another playstyle plus. And I think Tech Plus is a really good starter playstyle plus. I know the critique on this card has been that a lot of his base stats don't really look that good, base playstyles, which I can understand, but he still has, finesse. He's got Tech Plus. So the other two, obviously not too good. So I know that some people have been saying base playstyle-wise, he looks kind of generic. I've used him. I like him. I think he makes good runs now. Explosive as well, 94 pace, 5-star skills, wide player, so that's 18, right? And I'm planning on my main account, I'm planning on getting about 25 to 26. So that leaves me with what would I do as well with the rest of the tokens? That would leave me with like 8. I am going to try to get the 8530. I'm going to try my best to get this. Try my best. If I can't get it, I'm going to go for the 8520. And look, these 2 packs, I'm going to call it how it is, right? We just opened the 8520. Anyone that is planning on getting these 2 packs, they are going to be purely fodder. You will get a lot of fodder. If you look at the video yesterday, you will get a lot of fodder. You'll probably get, 250 to 300,000 coins of fodder. But I think gone are the days on FC because the way that EA has started to make the promo pack weights so bad that you are not going to get anybody crazy out of these. I just don't think you should expect to see a really good promo card. The degen thing that you could do, if you really want to do something, you could take this and save this for Team of the Year. Right? If you're a person that you want to play casually throughout the month, you want to get some wins here and then, you want to get a couple tokens, one idea that I really like is taking the 8530 and taking the 8520. All right? 6 plus 8, that's going to be 14 tokens, and you just save it for Team of the Year. Just wait for Team of the Year some point in January, a couple weeks away, which is crazy to say out loud. Probably about 4 to 5 weeks away. You eventually will get these, right? And you could just save them for a month. You probably won't get a Team of the Year, considering we opened a couple of the 8520s. We couldn't even get an 86 promo card during Ultimate Succession. But what you will be able to do is get a ridiculous amount of high-rated fodder, and there's going to be crazy cards. Team of the Year last year, we had like a Team of the Year best SBC that was nuts. We had a lot of really good Team of the Year SBCs last year. So I think that has a usage there. The Mode Mastery hero player pick for Govor or Marquisio, that's just not worth it for 7. Those players are not much anymore. I don't think anyone's going to go for little. So the next question here is that, hey, I want to take an icon risk. Do you feel like any of the icons are worth it? I feel like, yes, the 88 plus base icon 104, we will have to see once we get there. I am not against for 12 tokens, right? It's 4 less tokens, which is quite significant. You just getting a 1 of 3 base icon player pick. EA usually price these about 400, 500K. It's not a cheap SBC. And so for 12, if you wanted to just get 20 this month, which is you're doing a lot, you can just grab an 8530 and a base icon player pick. That's a nice combo for 20. I like that combo a lot. The nice part too is that if you have leftover tokens as well, depending on how many, you can always go for one of these lower tier fodder packs. But I'm seeing Rodrygo as probably a really nice choice. I know it's kind of like you're putting all your marbles in one, I guess, bin, right? Because you're just getting that player, and if he's bad, he's bad. But I can't imagine he's bad. He's got to be good. I think it looks like a really nice card. What I wanted to do as well in this video is just kind of go through, and this was one of the ones that, I think I was looking at, and like we had 51 of 4 87 plus icon picks last year. So I was watching this video and going through this video and kind of seeing what people were getting. And I felt like, yeah, we were getting some W's. Bobby Charlton would be nice to get. Would Bobby Charlton, I don't know. Will around that time will he be that crazy? You know, and this did include some promo cards as well. So this is not all just base icons, but most of them kind of had same old. You know, Figo, and I worry that if you spend 16 tokens, which is a ton of grind, you know, this ultimately is just a massive gamble. Because if you spend 16 tokens, you know, that could be like, let's say you get 2, 3, you're amazing at the game, you grind, you get like 3 rank 2s, right? 3 rank 1s. That's 9 tokens, right? You go through the pain of like multiple rivals, squad battles, you throw it all in that basket, you open up, you know, an 88, 1 of 4, and you get something like this. Like, man, that is like, you want to quit the game. You don't ever want to look at FIFA again. And, you know, a lot of people are already at that stage. That's why I'm looking at it like, for my own health, if I'm doing this grind, I would rather get a player that I know this Rodrygo, if he's on the market right now, he's probably 1,000,000 coins. Like, probably 1,000,000 coins. So, for me, links are really good. Potential to get that second play style plus eventually. That's where I'm looking at that, because I was going through this video with the icon picks, and I'm like, when you lock in that at 16, unless you're doing the entirety of the grind, right? You're literally the perfect FIFA player. Most people are not going to get more than 25, 26 tokens. So if you lock in for 16 and you get something terrible, you're left with 10 tokens, right? And that leaves you here where you kind of can just get fodder packs, but don't expect anything out of these fodder packs. So I want to walk away from something from swaps that, you know, I'm getting somebody ultimately that is really good that can go into my team. Now, I know there's a couple people that will be asking, hey, Nick, what do you think of Fati? What do you think of Nkunku? What do you think of Raspadori? So ultimately, Raspadori is an interesting one because he's got very, very, very high dribbling, a good playstyle plus. I think he's too weak. I think now that we get to these higher tier center backs, I just don't think he's going to be great. So I know he's a nice option for 4 tokens. I'm not sure. Fati is interesting to me, but I think there's other cards that you can get. 4-4 at this time of the year, it's definitely not the craziest. Rapid plus is nice. So, you know, if you needed a wide player, Fati for 8 is not bad, but you're going to have to get 8 rivals tokens, which means you're going to have to go through, get the 2 rivals from every week of rivals, right? So you have to get 4 weeks of 2 tokens of rivals, which means you would have already had to be, you know, specifically on the grind. Nice part is that he can play left mid cam and striker. I guess the issue for me is that this year I like right-footed players on the right and left-footed players on the left. So if he's a right-footed player with a 4-star weak foot on the left, not sure I love that. And, you know, if we're getting towards team of the year, are you going to want a one play style player, speed play style, no 5-star weak foot playing as your striker? That's what you got to ask yourself. So, you know, I don't know. The card, definitely out of all 3 of these cards available, I think Fati's the best out of Nkunku, Raspadori, but I still don't know. You know, the one I know that the one thing people will say is that, well, why don't you think that's worth it when Rodrygo has less play styles? And, you know, Fati arguably does have better play styles than Rodrygo for almost a little bit more than half the token amount. You know, I hear you with that. You know, if you really wanted to just go like super secure, yeah, you could for 26, you could take Fati and Rodrygo. You know, that's kind of interesting. I just see the situation is that you want to get one of those guys for sure, and then take probably a fodder pack so you can knock off 500k off a crazy SBC that is potentially better, you know, than that Fati. But out of all the players, I think that Fati is nice. I know people have been asking me about Nkunku. I just don't love the 3-star weak foot. This would have to be a card at some point that you could Evo, because 3-star weak foot, as we're moving on in the year, it's just not going to cut it anymore. I'm telling you right now. It's so important this year with the AI to have a good weak foot. So yeah, I kind of wanted to share a little bit of what I'm thinking, you know. I think there's a nice combo too if you did want to go get that Fati, because he is a guaranteed good player. You know, ranking wise, I would say it's Rodrygo, Fati, you know, then Nkunku and Raspadori for players available. You know, Pascal Gross is nice. I think Kim Little is good, but those cards, you know, there's other midfielders at this point with Evos and stuff you can get that are crazy. So I think they are some of the better players. You know, if you really wanted to get Fati, a guaranteed player, you want to get 20 tokens. You know, we say there's like close to 30 available. I think the base icon player pick with Fati is not bad. You know, you could get, for 12 tokens, you could get that base icon. You get a risk, and you get Fati with a rapid plus, you know, good stats. You'll be able to use them for a month or 2. I look at Rodrygo and Fati. I think they're probably usable for like a month and a half, 2 months, which they're also special cards. Again, potentially, you know, nice collector cards if you want to Evo down the line. It's cool to say you got them from swaps. I like that EA's at least including players that you want to consider. You know, most years with swaps, I don't take any guaranteed players, right? I'm always doing the gambles, the casinos. But this time around, I look at it like they actually are very good players, and I think they might be worth it this time around. I was just going through, and I'm looking at some of these cards that are popping out of this, and I'm like, man, for 2 less tokens than Rodrygo, around Team of the Year, am I going to be happy with a base 1 play style, you know, center back that, look, I look at Rodrygo saying, okay, there's probably going to be players coming out that are crazy. You know, 2 play style pluses, whatever. But I like his base stats a lot. And, you know, his links are incredible. I like his base stats a lot. So that's just where I think I've made up my mind with swaps. And I'm looking through and I'm like, okay, yeah, wildcard Drogba. I know this year would be crazy. Last year it wasn't as crazy. I think he was like 800K. Garrincha's nice, but you know, it's one of those, man. I don't know if I'm feeling like that full on risk is going to be worth if you go all the way and get this amount of tokens and you just get cooked if you're just depressed. So, guys, we will see on the channel how these look because I know that no matter what, you know, people are going to take these two. If you want to take an icon, I'd probably take the 1 of 3 just because I feel like you're going to eliminate a little bit of your risk at 12. You know, if you're going to go get 24 tokens, that still is going to leave you with the opportunity to get some fodder packs. I think no matter what people go ahead and take, it should be some sort of combo with Fati or 85-30, 85-20. You want to get, you know, something guaranteed, either player via SBC with these 2 packs. I guess 1% risk that you get a good promo card, or Fati guaranteed, and then something else. So let me know what you guys are saying for those combos. I did see one person in my stream saying they're going with Carlos Alberto. You know, that was interesting too. You can get him for 14. So they've put a guaranteed player in between the 2 icon picks that, you know, arguably is 1 million coins, can play center back, and is probably pretty crazy. So that's you know, that's another one of those where like that's not too out of the realm of that's not a bad decision, bro, either. I mean, I know Garrett Muller's there, but he's like half the price. That's interesting. Anticipate plus, 91 rated, super rare icon, 14 tokens. Let's say you get 26. That still leaves you with like 12. You know, you could go through and do Alberto and a base icon. So that's one of those two you got to consider. There's so many cool combos that you can go with. I think what I am going to go with, unless this 88 plus base icon turns out to be just nuts, like we're turning out Dinos and R9s, and I feel like the risk is like I actually have like a 20-30% chance of someone crazy. I think I'm going to end up going with Rodrygo for 18. And depending on how many other tokens I get, Fati, the 85-30, or the 85-20. Just depending on how many others I have left over, you know? If I can get 26, I'll probably be between Rodrygo and Fati, just as a creator to get players to try out for you guys, or the 85-30 with Rodrygo. So let me know what you guys are going with from swaps. And I just want to kind of go over and do a little discussion video because swaps is probably the best thing that we have right now in this game and probably the reason that all you guys are still logging in. So let me know. And thanks for watching the video, guys. I appreciate you guys. Peace.